This is Module 1, Unit 3, Part 1 of Computer Software. Our learning topics in this Part 1 are computer software, licenses and copyrights, and how to install and uninstall software. The learning outcomes for Unit 3 are how to list and describe computer software categories, to explain copyright law and define the different software licenses, explain how to install and uninstall software, identify the basic functions and features of operating systems. We will compare operating systems and describe utility software, including device drivers. We will define office productivity software and name examples in each major category. We will also define graphic software and name examples in each major category. And finally, we will name other categories of application software and give examples of each category. Now let's go into learning outcome 1. Listen and describe computer software categories. Software, also called computer programs, gives computers the instructions and data necessary to carry out tasks. Software is used to create documents or graphics. Software is used to help schedule classes or to listen to music. Software makes it possible to communicate using computers. Most software uses a graphical user interface, GUI. This allows you to give the computer commands using pointing devices and graphics such as menus, buttons, icons, links, and more. When do you use software? You use software every time you use your desktop, notebook, or tablet computer. In addition, you use software when you use your mobile phone, digital camera, retail and banking machines, some software appliances, cars, some medical devices, and much more. Software carries out your commands anytime you press buttons or touch a screen to tell a machine what to do. There are different types of software. Yes, there are many different types of software. Software is usually categorized as either system software or application software. System software is used by the computer for tasks that help the computer work. For example, you use system software to run computer and all programs on it. It can diagnose a problem with your hard drive, printer, or internet connection. Application software helps you carry out tasks such as sending an email, getting you street-by-street driving directions, editing a photo, or writing a report. Development software includes developing the programming and scripting languages for writing scripts, creating web pages, and querying databases, and testing software. The diagram on this slide shows the common ways to categorize system software, development software, and application software. Some software can be in more than one category, so use these categories as a general guideline. Software can be grouped into categories according to how the software is used. What system software can be grouped into subcategories of operating systems for controlling a digital device's internal operations, or utilities for file management, security, communications, backup, network management, and system monitoring. And finally, device drivers so that devices can communicate with each other. Applications software can be grouped according to tasks. such as producing documents, creating spreadsheets, and communicating with others. What is a local application? A local application software is that is installed on your computer. When you install a local application, the program files are placed in the appropriate folders on the computer's hard drive. After the software is installed, the computer makes sure the program is ready to run. What is a web application? A web application, also called web app or cloudware, is software that is accessed with a web browser. Instead of running locally on a computer, much of the program code for the software runs on a remote computer connected to the internet or other computer network. Web apps are available for many of the same applications that run locally. These include email, calendars, databases, photo sharing, project management, maps, games, and even word processing. Web apps make it possible for groups of people to collaborate on projects in multiple locations. The advantage of a web app is that you can use it when anywhere you have access to a computer connected to the web. However, there are also disadvantages when using web apps. For example, you don't have access if you don't have access to the web app to the if you don't have access to the web app and you lose power on your computer, or if you lose your internet connection and you don't have access if the internet server hosting the web goes down. What is a portable application? A portable application is designed to run from a removable storage device, such as a USB flash drive. Program files are not installed on the hard drive, and no configuration data is stored on the computer. When the media containing the portable software is removed from the computer, no trace of the portable application is left. And on the computer, portable software can only be used when the removable storage device is connected to a computer. What is a mobile application? A mobile application is designed to run on mobile devices such as smartphones and tablet computers. It is also called an app. Mobile apps include games, calendars, stock market trackers, tour guides, highway traffic monitors, news feeds, and more. How do you know if software program will work on your computer? The system requirements, which specify the operating system and minimum hardware capacities, is your key. It gives you the information you need to know if the software will work on a computer. You can find the system requirements on the software manufacturer's website or on the packaging. This is an example of system requirements. Now let's move on to to discussing learning outcome number 2, which is explaining copyright law and defining the different software licenses. Just because it is easy to copy and share digital content, such as other people's documents, photos, and music that you get from email or posted on your website, doesn't mean it's legal to do so. Copyright and intellectual property laws, as well as software license, govern how you can use digital content. This includes digital content you buy at a brick and mortar store or download from the web using a computer. Understanding copyright law and software licenses for digital content will help you avoid legal problems. What is copyright? Copyright is a legal protection that grants the author of an original work an exclusive right to copy, distribute, sell, and modify that work, except under special circumstances described by copyright laws. Exceptions include the purchaser's right to copy software from a distribution disk or website to a computer's hard drive in order to install it. If you don't see the copyright symbol, does it mean that the software is not protected? Most software displays a copyright notice, such as with Microsoft, usually has a copyright notice that gives the year and the name of the company, like as in 2017, Microsoft Corporation. All rights reserved are uh, uh, on one of its starting screens. However, this notice is not required by law. As a result, even programs without a copyright notice are protected by copyright law. People who go around copyright law and illegally copy, distribute, or modify software are sometimes called software pirates. Their illegal copies are referred to as pirated software. What is a software license? A software license or license agreement is a legal contract that lets you know the ways in which you may use or share that computer program. Once you purchase software, or even if you get software for free, you can only use the software as defined by the software license. The type of license determines how the software is classified legally. What is software classified legally? How is software classified legally? Software is legally classified in two categories: public domain and proprietary. Public domain software is not protected by copyright because the copyright has expired, or the author has placed the program in the public domain, making it available without restriction. Public domain software may be freely copied, distributed, and even resold. The primary restriction on public domain software is that you are not allowed to apply for a copyright on it. Creative Commons is an organization committed to freely sharing content on the internet. Proprietary software has restrictions on its use, and are delineated by copyright, patents, and license agreements. Some proprietary software is distributed commercially, where some of it is free. Depending on the licensing right, proprietary software is distributed as commercial software, demoware, shareware, freeware, or open source software. These classifications determine the software license. What is commercial software? Commercial software is typically sold in stores or on websites. Although you can buy this software, you actually purchase only the right to use it under the terms of the software license. Some commercial software is available as a trial version called demoware. Demoware is distributed free and often comes pre-installed on new computers. Demoware is often limited in some way until you pay for it. Demoware publishers usually take steps to prevent users from overriding time limitations. What is shareware? Shareware is copyrighted software marketed under a try before you pay policy. It typically includes a license that permits you to use the software for a trial period. To use it beyond the trial period, you must send in a registration fee. A shareware license usually allows you to make copies of the software and distribute it to others. If you choose to use the software, they must send they must send a registration fee. Registration fee payment relies upon the honor system. What is freeware? Freeware is copyrighted software that is available without a fee. Because the software is protected by copyright, you cannot do anything with it that is not expressly allowed in the copyright law or by the author. Typically, the license for freeware permits you to use the software, copy the software, and give it away, but it does not permit you to alter it or sell it. Many utility programs, device drivers, and other games are available as freeware. What is open source software? Open source software makes the program instructions available to programmers who want to modify or improve the software. Open source software may be sold or distributed free of charge, but it must, in every case, include the source code. Despite the lack of restrictions on distribution and use, open source software is copyrighted and is not in the public domain. The Fox browser is an example of open source software. The Open Source Software Initiative is a nonprofit corporation that advocates for open source software. This symbol that you see on the screen is one from the Open Source Initiative. Two of the most common open source and free um, software licenses are BSD and GPL. The BSD license originated as the Berkeley Software Distribution License for a server operating system. GPL, General Public License, was developed for a free operating system called GNU. Do you have to accept the license agreement to run the software? Absolutely yes. Usually before you install and run a program, you have to agree to the terms as stated in the EULA, which stands for End User License Agreement. The EULA opens on the screen when you install the software. You can indicate that you accept the terms by clicking on a designated button or checking a box labeled OK, I agree, or I accept. This is an example of a, of a software license agreement online. Since you didn't actually sign anything, are you still legally bound to this license? Yes. While most legal contracts require signatures before the terms take effect, software publishers typically use two techniques to validate a software license. A shrink wrap license goes into effect as soon as you open the packaging. And secondly, when you download software, it has an installation agreement that goes into effect as soon as you click on the option to accept the terms of the agreement. What software licenses are available? Well, there is single user license, which limits the use of the software to one person at a time. Secondly, there is site license, which is generally priced at a flat rate and allows software to be used on all computers at a specific site location. Then there's multiple user license. A price it is priced per user and allows the allocated number of people to use the software at any time. And finally, there's the concurrent use license, and it is priced by copy and allows a specific number of copies to be used at the same time. Now let's go into our third learning outcome, and we'll explain how to install and uninstall software. You often want to add application software or apps to your digital device. Software can be obtained in many ways, such as on a distribution media like a CD, a DVD, a Blu-ray disc, or download it from the web. Unless you are using web apps, you must install software before you can use it. Installation procedures depend on your computer's operating system and whether the software is local, portable, or mobile application. In addition to installing software, you should also know how to upgrade your software and how to uninstall your software if you no longer need it. What does it mean to install software? When you install software, you're copying the software from a distribution media, such as a CD, a DVD, or Blu-ray disc, or the web, to your hard drive so that you can use the program. You generally won't install on the operating system. It usually comes installed on the operating system usually comes installed on the computer or mobile device when you buy it. How do I start an installation process? To install software from CD or DVD, place the disk in the CD or DVD drive. Once the disk is in the drive, you will see blinking lights on the drive, and the information will appear on the screen as a setup program starts. To install software from the web, read any information on the website about installing the software, then click the download link. On this slide, you can see an example. The files you need will be downloaded and copied to a folder on your computer. Downloaded software files are usually transferred as one large compressed file on your computer downloads into your computer downloads folder. Compressed files are smaller, so they are downloaded faster than uncompressed files. Some compressed files are zip files. Others are executable files. Once the files are downloaded, a setup program starts. What is a setup program? A setup program is a series of steps designed to guide you through the installation process. You follow directions as prompted on the screen to complete the installation process. If you are installing software from the web, the download file is unzipped into the original collection of files. So how do you start a program? When the installation is complete, you should start the program you just installed to make it sure it works. Techniques for running programs depend on the computer's operating system. There are several ways to start a program on a PC. You could double click or double tap a desktop icon, or you click or tap an app on the start menu. Then you have the option to click or tap a taskbar icon. And finally, you can click or tap a tile. Now, if you have any questions, as always, will be the case in this course. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, do not hesitate to send the instructor a message through the decision page or through the Canvas inbox. Click on any image of have a question or send a message from the iBox icon in the far left panel. The instructor will respond within 24 hours or on weekdays between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., excluding college holidays. So remember, click on any of the have a question images throughout the module. This is the end of Module 1, Unit 3, Part 1, Computer Software. Please go on to Part 2.